President Barack Obama endorses Hillary Clinton as Bernie Sanders vows to help defeat Donald Trump. The EU proposes a cash for cooperation deal with Africa to curb the flow of migrants.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
And a musical tribute to boxing legend Muhammad Ali. Africa 54 starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Esther Gidui. You at Vincent Makori is off today. This is Africa 54. Thousands of people are lining up the streets of Louisville, Kentucky, the hometown of boxing legend Muhammad Ali, to say their final goodbyes. Former President Bill Clinton and comedian Billy Crystal will eulogize Ali. Among the pallbearers will be actor Will Smith, who was nominated for an Oscar for his movie portrayal of Ali. And in a traditional ceremony of remembrance called Janaza, Muslims from every continent gathered to pay final tribute to boxing great Muhammad Ali, a man they called fearless for his willingness to embrace and champion their religion, even when it wasn't easy. Ramon Taylor has the story.
Shia, Sunni, Salafi, Sufi. If there is one person who could transcend the diversity of Islam's major schools of thought and bring representatives together under one roof in Kentucky, his name is Muhammad Ali. During Thursday's Janazah, a Muslim funeral service in Ali's hometown of Louisville, thousands of mourners paid final tribute to a man they championed for championing them.
Because of him, I think we stood a little taller and we held our head a little higher, that he gave us pride in ourselves because he was such a strong advocate for who we are as American Muslims.
Muhammad Ali never shied away from identifying as a Muslim, and he wore that identity on his sleeve, and it just gave me a sense of pride.
Hassan from California attended the ceremony on behalf of her late uncle and father, who knew Ali well. Like them, she says, Ali was willing to live and die by his principles. The journey was longer for others, both Muslims and non-Muslims, who traveled from the furthest continents, all whose lives were impacted by Ali.
We grew up with the beautiful name of Muhammad Ali. People used to say, if somebody very assertive, they said, "What do you think, you are Muhammad Ali?" That's how much meant to young people growing up in Sudan.
Majid, who grew up in Sudan, says Ali's visit to his native country in 1988 remains his most cherished memory.
Sudanese just embrace him like one of them, that wherever he goes, people claim him, claim Muhammad Ali.
Like civil rights activist Jesse Jackson, who says Ali's sacrifices to his country made Americans better.
These religions matter so much to so many people around the world, and so to affirm Ali is to affirm his religion.
In their struggle against racial and religious discrimination, Muslim Americans have long embraced Ali as one of their own, and as proof of the great contributions of Muslims to society. Through their stories and in fights for justice, his legacy will live on and continue to provide them with strength.
And joining us now via Skype is VOA's Ramon Taylor. Hi, Ramon. What is the mood like in Louisville, Kentucky?
Hi, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here today. And you don't see this right now, but the procession, including the hearse of Muhammad Ali, just passed through this street. I'm on Broadway, close to downtown on one end, and Central High School, which is Muhammad Ali's high school where the dream all began. So I'm really in a central location right now where the procession just continued on its way. It's making its way toward Cave Hill Cemetery. And the procession, the people that are watching from here in Louisville and from around the world are really following this as it goes. I just came from Muhammad Ali Boulevard, and a lot of people swarmed here to the next street to get a second chance to see him, to see Will Smith, one of the pallbearers. And so there's a lot of excitement in the air, a lot of sadness as well, but really just overall a sense of appreciation, gratitude for what Ali meant to both people from Louisville and around the world. It's a moment of celebration, and they're doing it in their own way here in Louisville.
And Ramon, indeed, thousands of people showing up there. What is expected in the next maybe couple of hours, about an hour and a half, when the ceremony begins?
Well, we believe that they're a little behind schedule right now, and That's because they wanted to take their time in the procession. Thousands of fans gathered along all these streets. It's a 23-mile or about a 40-kilometer procession, so you can imagine a lot of ground to cover, thousands of passerbys as he went along. So after this, he will head to a private ceremony at Cave Hill Cemetery, Louisville and Kentucky's most well-known cemetery. After that, they will head to KFC Yum Center, where they expect a crowd of about 16,000. As you mentioned earlier, that includes dignitaries. Former President Bill Clinton will eulogize, so will for actor Billy Crystal. It's going to be a really personal ceremony, but open to the masses, the way that Muhammad Ali wanted.
And briefly, Ramon, he is a world icon being remembered everywhere, including the continent of Africa, especially former Zaire, now DRC.
That's right, and as you just heard in that report, I mean, I've met Africans that have come from as far as Sudan, from as far as Zaire, who saw the rumble in the jungle, who witnessed these matches and have come here to share their stories, share their experiences with the people who grew up with him here in Louisville, with each other from all different continents. So we've seen really just the most diverse crowd sharing stories and appreciation for the man that really changed their lives in so many different ways, for all of the struggles that he endured, and for every civil rights moment that he represented for so many people.
Oh, Ramon Taylor, fantastic reporting there. VOA's Ramon Taylor speaking to us via Skype from Louisville, Kentucky. Now, the European Commission is launching a new attempt to curb the flood of migrants headed to the EU from Africa. The proposal includes spending 8 billion euros in development aid and other assistance over the next 5 years. Countries reluctant to help Europe on migration could face a reduction of EU funding or cooperation. Thousands of African migrants fleeing political and economic problems have been making the perilous journey through the Mediterranean Sea. Many have lost their lives trying to reach Europe, hoping for a better life. U.S. President Barack Obama formally endorsed Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton after meeting with her rival Bernie Sanders Thursday in a bid to unite the party and defeat the presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump. In videotaped remarks released late Thursday by the Clinton campaign, Obama said he knows how difficult it is to be president, and that is why he knows his former Secretary of State and the former First Lady is capable of doing the job.
In fact, I don't think there's ever been someone so qualified to hold this office. She's got the courage, the compassion, and the heart to get the job done.
The official endorsement came after Obama held a 1-hour Oval Office meeting with Sanders, the impassioned Vermont senator who has won the support of millions of people, especially younger voters. After the meeting, Sanders stopped short of conceding the nomination to Clinton, but said he will meet with her soon.
I look forward to meeting with her in the near future to see how we can work together to defeat Donald Trump and to create a government which represents all of us and not just the 1%.
Clinton received another key endorsement late Thursday from Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Warren was the only female Democratic senator who had not thrown her support behind Clinton, but did so in an interview on the news network MSNBC Thursday.
I'm ready. I am ready to get in this fight and work my heart out for Hillary Clinton to become the next president of the United States and to make sure that Donald Trump never gets any place close to the White House.
White House officials said Obama will campaign with Clinton for the first time during an appearance in Wisconsin next week. Obama carried the state in both general elections when he ran for president. Sanders said he will compete in a primary in Washington Tuesday and will continue to push issues central to his campaign up until the Democratic Convention in July. We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Coming up, remembering the greatest, the legacy of Muhammad Ali. Stay with us.
Outside the debate hall.
political season is about to change, too.
VOA News, Las Vegas.
Boxing legend Muhammad Ali was not only known for his incredible skill inside the ring, but was also known for his activism outside the ring. My colleague Paul Sisko has more.
Ali Bomaye, they chanted, days before Muhammad Ali's heavyweight championship fight with George Foreman in Kinshasa in 1974. Ali was not just a three-time world champion, but he was Africa's champion. He was an icon and inspiration to Africans, first as a fighter and forever for his beliefs. The native son of Louisville, Kentucky, first hit the world stage, winning an Olympic gold medal in the 1960 Rome Olympics. Some refer to Muhammad Ali as the first true African American. His connection with Africa has long been deep and meaningful.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sunday Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.
The love and respect is mutual.
Last night, I had a dream. When I got to Africa, I had one hell of a rumble. I had to beat Tarzan's behind first for claiming to be the king in the jungle. For this fight, I've wrestled with alligators. I've tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning and put thunder in jail. You know I'm bad. I have murdered a rock. I injured a stone, and I hospitalized a brick. I'm so bad I make medicine sick. I'm so fast, man, I can run through a hurricane and don't get wet. When George Foreman meets me, he'll pay his debt. I can drown a drink of water and kill a dead tree. Wait till you see Muhammad Ali.
The relationship between Ali and the continent was rooted in shared struggles and beliefs. The self-proclaimed Muslim championed Pan-Africanism. He met with Ghanaian nationalist leader Kwame Nkrumah and former Egyptian President Gamal Nasser and thousands of his African fans on a debut tour to Ghana, Nigeria, and Egypt. Ali was always treated as a hero wherever he went across the continent. The boxing icon visited Africa several times. First as Cassius Clay, and later as Muhammad Ali, the man often called the people's champion never lacked confidence.
It's going to be a hard. It's going to take a good man to whoop me. You can look at me, I'm loaded with confidence. I can't beat me. I had 180 amateur fights, 22 professional fights, and I'm pretty as a girl.
And in his own words, was pretty too.
I don't get hit. Never make me no underdog, and never talk about who's going to stop me. Well, ain't nobody going to stop me. Not a heavyweight in the world fast enough to stop me. I give you one more chance. Who's the greatest? You are. All right.
In 1974, Muhammad Ali was hosted by President Mobutu Sese Seko in Kinshasa, Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo. The famed Rumble in the Jungle title fight against George Foreman gave Africans a front row seat to one of the defining moments of Ali's career and life. There he regained the heavyweight championship, which had been stripped from him in the late 1960s for refusing induction into the U.S. Armed Forces.
Clay's induction refusal cost him his title, and he faces a possible 5-year prison sentence.
60,000 fans in Kinshasa and millions of Africans across the continent and the world saw him knock out George Foreman. Others consider the 1975 Thrilla in Manila Ali's and boxing's greatest heavyweight fight. In the stifling Manila heat, he defeated Joe Frazier when Frazier's trainer refused to allow him to answer the bell for the 15th and final round. A friend and inspiration to generations, the powerful and the powerless, world leaders and presidents, Muhammad Ali had no greater admirer than Nelson Mandela. For years, we've known the eventual outcome of Muhammad Ali's fight against Parkinson's disease. We've also known that this battle would be fought with grace and style to the very end. The greatest, Muhammad Ali. Paul Sisko, VOA News.
And still on Muhammad Ali's passing, the world is remembering a man who transcended sports, culture, and religion to become a global icon. I Am Ali, a 2014 documentary by Claire Lewis, used audio tapes that were recorded with family and friends to paint an intimate portrait of the boxing legend. VOA's Penelope Pulu has more.
My father has a lot of sides, and you hear about the fights. You don't hear about family that much and what that meant to him.
What's your dad's name?
Muhammad Ali.
No one, not even some members of his family, knew of the existence of these audio tapes until recently.
Miriam, you're now 11 years old.
They thread the narrative of the boxing champion's life in Claire Lewis's documentary. Ali's daughter, Hannah, offered the tapes to Lewis.
Say, I love my daddy.
I love my daddy. I love my poo-poo head daddy.
Okay.
My father was always conscious about history. And, I think that's one of the reasons why he made this series of audio tape cassette recordings.
Say, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
The film shows the whole world in love with him. Testimonials of friends and adversaries paint the Olympian and three-time boxing champion Cassius Clay, later Muslim convert Muhammad Ali, as a sensitive, poignant, and courageous man. Because he refused to serve in the Vietnam War, he was stripped of his championship title, and his boxing license was revoked. His close friend, former football player Jim Brown, remembers.
He had a lot of courage. The risk he had to take, and then to be isolated, to have his crown taken away, not be able to make a living, that was difficult.
But he stuck to his convictions, and in 1974, at the age of 32, Ali made a comeback.
When George Foreman meets me, he'll pay his debt. I can drown a drink of water and kill a dead tree. Wait till you see Muhammad Ali.
He defeated formidable George Foreman and recaptured his title.
I get into the ring with the guy. I bluffed him. I done everything. Beat him up basically for about 5 or 6 rounds. I thought it was easy. Then about the 6th round, he whispered in my ear after I'd hit him in the side, "That all you got, George?" And that was about all I had.
I Am Ali does not say much about his broken marriages, but it highlights his bond with his children.
I was the Concorde of boxing. I was at a high altitude than the rest, moving fast.
As Ali has aged, we hear him begin to slur his words, a sign of developing Parkinson's disease. He finally retired in the late 1970s, and in the mid-80s he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. But to the world and his children, he remains an icon of power and grace.
If anyone wonder why me, Muhammad Ali, is making these tapes, is because history is so beautiful.
Penelope Pulu, VOA News, Washington.
It's time now for a short break. Still to come on Africa 54. In our Music Maker segment, a tribute to Muhammad Ali. We'll be right back.
If you've just joined us, I'm Miriam Diallo, and here is a quick recap of today's headlines. In the DRC, opposition parties forge an alliance and demand that President Joseph Kabila quit when his term expires in December. In Nigeria, at least 10 people are starving to death every day in a camp in the northeast for people displaced by Boko Haram violence. We stay in Nigeria, where residents of a village in the Delta State area accuse soldiers who have been hunting pipeline bombers of looting and harassment. Finally, in Senegal, timber smugglers could make the country's last forest in the Casamance region disappear soon. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
And welcome back to Africa 54. Here's what's trending. Click it, post it, and tweet it. An increasing number of us are documenting our daily lives through smartphone photographs, and it has changed the way many of us view the world. Now, an increasing number of people are signing up for courses to improve their snaps. Students are paying to learn the art of iPhoneography, the art of taking photos from an iPhone. At this class in the U.S. Capitol, even the most artistically challenged can learn how to properly control light, colors, and cropping in 2 hours. The first hour is a lecture on which apps can help bring out the best in certain situations. The second hour is field practice around Washington, D.C.'s Chinatown neighborhood. Between 30 to 40 students show up for the class every weekend. Next up, hanging upside down, walking on wires, swinging on silks, and flying through the air. Welcome to Circus School. It looks like a training session for any would-be circus performer, but this is actually a new workout trend taking Hollywood by storm. Cirque School LA combines professional circus training and Pilates. Students say it builds strength and flexibility in their entire body. Classes offer almost everything you would see on stage, such as acrobatics, trapeze, aerial silk, straps and rope, Chinese pole, hand and partner balancing, and walking on wires. While Circus School attracts fitness enthusiasts of all ages, some aerial acts could put undue pressure on some body parts. The school recommends people consult professionals before beginning classes. And finally, retail giant Amazon has launched a British version of its US Amazon Fresh food delivery service, stepping up the pressure on the traditional big supermarkets already locked in a brutal price war. The UK has one of the world's most developed online grocery markets, with the big four retailers, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Walmart's, Asda and Morrison's, already competing with specialist delivery firm Ocado. The online grocery bar is even higher in London. Shoppers in eligible postcodes who are members of the Amazon Prime subscription service will be able to choose from a range of more than 130,000 products, including about 20,000 grocery items. The UK's online food market is expected to nearly double to over £17 billion by 2020. And that's what's trending today. And welcome back. It's Music Makers Friday, and today on Africa 54's Top African Music Videos, we're honoring Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time. And now, here's your host, Sanusi Diallo.
You're the greatest, man. The greatest. Welcome to VOA's African Hit. I'm Sanusi Diallo, your host. Today we are paying tribute to the late Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, by dedicating 5 original songs from Africa to Muhammad Ali. Are you ready for this? I'm the greatest, man. As you know, Muhammad Ali is a champ. He's a boxer, wrestler, poet. We want to dedicate this song to him. Here's Flavour in Power to Win. They think I run. I don't run, I dance. Sugar Ray never run, he dance. He's on number 4 music video. Miriam Makeba with Pata Pata. I told you I fly like a butterfly and stink like a bee. Ah, pa. Through poems and rhyme, Muhammad Ali has exemplified the oral tradition of Africa to the spotlight of American popular culture. He was on number 3 music video dedicated to Muhammad Ali, Salif Keita, Tomorrow. More than a champ, Muhammad Ali was a civil rights pioneer, preaching for freedom, equality among all. He's on number 2 music video, Sarafina, Freedom is Coming.
Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Yeah, oh, you listen to mama. Yeah, oh, you listen to mama. Yeah, oh, you listen to mama.
Muhammad Ali was a true symbol of black aspiration and independence. Now introducing our number 1 music video in honor of Muhammad Ali. Here's Rocky Dawuni, African Thriller.
African Thriller, na dance hall ruler. African Thriller, na dance hall ruler. This be musical campaign. We gon' hit you without pain. Some of you but they complain, but they dance hall keep on moving. So my people no go be long before the weak hand go make strong. Now you know say nothing be wrong to move to this tempo all night long. Now liberation music. We go to rock with new foundation.
And that's all for today. We want to thank you for watching. Make sure you check our social media pages at VOA's African Hit. The African Musical Countdown, it's on VOA's African Hit. I'm the greatest. I said that even before I know I was. I am.
And that's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 website at voaafrica.com. Good night from Washington.
Welcome to the Voice of America's Newswords.
Listen to this story about how the European Union is handling the crisis in Ukraine. See if you can pick out this word.
Assets. The European Union has frozen the assets of some former Ukrainian officials, while at the same time offering the country billions of dollars in aid.
Assets are valuable things, or even people. Some examples include property or investments.
The owner of frozen assets cannot use them or sell them. Countries freeze the assets of people or companies they suspect of doing something wrong.
Now, when you hear the word assets, you will know what this news word means.